child actors are one of the most sought after. Be it Hanuman, be it Ashoka or Maharana Pratap or other serials out there, the show has always been driven by the child actors. So today's episode is completely and solely about how the casting for child actors is done. So let's see what the casting director has got to say about how casting is done for child actors in television.
क्या आप जानना चाहते हैं टीवी की दुनिया में इन तारों से सितारों तक का सफर? क्या आपके पास वो हुनर है पर राहगीर नहीं? ऐसे अनगिनत सवालों के हम देंगे जवाब। आइए मिलिए कास्टिंग क्वीन जैनेट से इन कास्टिंग विद जैनेट।
Do subscribe to TellyChakkar's YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated about our new videos. According to what I understand is, sometimes parents push children into that field and sometimes parents know that their child has that caliber but they do not know how to approach or whom to approach.
It's very important for the parents to understand that they have to approach right casting directors who are doing shows or films or are on the seats at the right place at the right time. Most of the parents get carried away by going to the malls and doing portfolios and spending a lot of money in portfolios. I have seen this happening to a lot of kids, parents, because they come up and telling कि oh 10 साल मेरे गए, मेरा बच्चा मैं 10 साल से कर रहा था पर अभी 10 साल का हो गया, इतना साल आप कहाँ पे थे? You know, you have been approaching the wrong platform. They lose on the opportunity to approach the right people who would promote the kids instead.
Well, there are so many genres out there, which require kids as a lead or a second or anything.
Yes.
So how do you do casting for those different genres?
Because we need kids for a normal show, we need kids for a costume drama, we need kids for comedy and horror. Now consider these four best genres in our industry. For a common show, we usually look for kids who are just about loving, cute. It's okay even if they can't tell a dialogue because we'll spend that 1 hour just trying to take up a dialogue from him, which is workable. But when we're talking about comedy, well, it's not a cakewalk because you need a kid who is a developing humorist. You need a kid who can make fun of others and himself or is just so cute that even every word he says. Usually I've seen kids being cast as either the very tinny minis or the very chabbu chabbus who are casted in comedy because if they're very small though, otherwise if they're little elderly kids, then we do look for good timings of an kiddo. Coming to the historical and the mythological, the costume drama, a lot of kids back out. A lot of kids back out because one, the language and the attire they wear, then the mukuts, it doesn't work for all the kids. There's a lot of rashes problem and those long hours. So basically long hours is a very big problem in our industry with kids. When you say of horror again, I know a lot of kids who say that no, the parents say no, he gets scared in the night after doing that or seeing that. So again, that kid has to be that strong enough that he's okay with doing those frightening scenes, or he can do maybe a makeup or depending whether he's playing a ghost or whatever it is. So that's again a very, very tough job. So I think these three genres are very difficult for any kid to do.
So when you're talking about performance or performance-based kids, any few names that pop up in your mind?
Ishan Bhanushali, he is just fabulous. You really appreciate him a lot because he with those dentures and with that tail and those makeup the whole day and the costume the whole day with the jewelry and everything. He never complained, he never created a problem, and his role was actually supposed to be only 1 month or 1.5 months, but it carried on to more than a year. And his performance was outstanding. We had Ulka Gupta, who was playing the Rani of Jhansi. Then we had Ashtur Kaur, who was playing Prachi. Now she happened to be my son's computer teacher's daughter. When I just first saw her and I just liked her, she had this cute small face, just a 4-year girl. I worked on her to get that role, and then where she's gone places. Then I chose Roshni Walia over for my Maharana Pratap girl for playing the younger Rani. Siddharth Nigam, who played Ashoka, yes. So, another very talented kid with a lot of gymnast and everything, good body at that age of 14 years.
So you mean to tell me that, it's a very plus point for the kids to have an extra, plus thing?
Definitely, because in Siddharth Nigam's case, in which he played Ashoka as a lead, what we looked at him as was, he's a good looking chap anyways, a good actor as well. But since he does gymnastics, he had a natural toned body, which, on a bare body, when he had to do the Ashoka thing, He was a kid, a 14-year-old kid who literally had those 6 packs on him, which was just amazing, and a good actor as well and a good looker.
Pushing a child in a young age in acting or such glamour world, the maturity comes way quicker than it should come to a child.
They lose their maturity, they lose their innocence, they lose their childishness. I am with kids with that age when I cast, and then I have a kid who was growing at that part of time. So when I used to watch him and I used to see that kid and I was like, एक 4 साल का बच्चा है और मेरा 4 साल का बच्चा है. I mean, जमीन आसमान का फर्क. Because our kids are innocent, they're having the childishness, whereas these kids get a lot of pamper, they get a lot of attention, they get a lot of fame at a very young age, so they tend to become a lot more rude and but end of the day I've seen them grow up. By the time, you know, that rudeness I've seen is usually between the age group of when they grow up to be a 14-year-old to 17-18-year. But then I have seen those same kids, I can name so many of them, but I'm sorry I can't name them on camera. And then the same kids have lowered down so much. I've understood, okay, our place is to be, you know, to be humble. I won't use a name, but I have this, we were casting this kid for this show of ours for Contillo Films. It was a comedy show, Amma Ji Ki Gali, where we had almost cast this kid who was a teenager at that part of time, 14 years, teenager, 14 to 16 years. When we were discussing payments and I and the mom spoke of the payment and we freezed because she was finalized. The girl tells her mother, have you spoken about the budgets? So mother said, हाँ बात बेटा हो गया. कितना हुआ? The way she said it was, I was jerked. Then her mother told her the amount, which was decent enough. I mean, it was like yearly good enough. She's saying, काम मुझे करना है, आपको नहीं. Set पे मुझे रहना है, आपको नहीं. तो please आप A rates आप बोलो मत. And I've seen a lot of kids other than her. Also, you know, between that 14 years to that 17, 18 years, they have the hot blood. They think, oh, they've got the world at their feet. But after that, it eventually comes out to, you know, then I've seen them, most of the kids, I think 99% of the kids I've seen is then realize their fault and then they, you know, humble up and then they come back to the normal sense and normal way. But that little extra ego and that little, because the fame has already reached their head. So that attitude does remain. If we're talking of reality or if we're talking of any of the shows, yeah. So basically, you know, anything from 1500 to thousands. Now, when you're
Is the starting thing that you're telling me?
Yeah, per day. So anything, I mean, basically 1500 also very low, but 2.5 is what they usually pay for a new actor who just stepped in, depending again if they perform. And it goes up to 25,000, 30,000, 50,000 a day. It all depends. See, it depends on the production house and the channel. Where the kid is, if the show is completely on the kid and he is taking the TRPs to which level. See, the whole game of, we have to understand the whole game of television is about TRPs.
This is about what they are paid, but according to you, which age group is most favorable for kids to come into this line?
See, it's from infant, when you're an infant to 3-4 years, you have ads, which is actually most important, I mean, where you can really get your kids coming across. But for a TV serial, I think 4 years onwards to 12 years.
So well, on this note, why not call upon Roshni, Walia and Mazel Vyas so that they can share a little few insights about how they are balancing their work life and their personal life and what all tips that they can share with us?
In Casting with Janet.
Well, talking about child actors, how can one forget the gorgeous Roshni Walia who was seen in Ye Vada Raha and Maharana Pratap, and the stunning Mazel Vyas who was seen acing her role in Saath Nibhana Saathiya, Wazir, a Bollywood movie, and Tu Suraj Mein Sanj Piyan Ki. So let's call upon the two beauties and see what they have got to share with us. Hi guys, welcome to TellyChakkar. Whom did you approach? Where did you all begin with? What was that about?
When I came to Bombay, I came here just for a holiday. So mummy ने किसी modeling agency में, you know, she paid and we paid 7,000. उस time पे 7,000 used to be a very big deal. For Allahabadis, 1,000 bhi is like 1 million. So that's a lot. So we paid and, you know, we were really struggling with our day-to-day life. I got a call the day I was leaving for Allahabad again. and they were like, your daughter is selected, and we got so happy. So yeah, there are people who will be, you know, just taking money from you, and they will be telling you कि आपको हम इसमें डालेंगे उसमें डालेंगे. At times it can be fake, at times it can be real. So I don't want any of, you know, whoever's watching the show to rely on someone. You know, you just need to make more contacts in this industry or any other field. So I guess that's really important.
What about you, Mazel?
My father just uploaded some pictures on Facebook. तो उन्होंने ये पिक्चर्स पोस्ट किए थे फेसबुक पे, और मुझे सडनली एक कॉल आया बॉम्बे से कि एक कैडबरी की ऐड है और हमें चाहिए कि माजिल उसके लिए शॉर्टलिस्ट हुई है. सो आई वांट माजिल इन दैट ऐड. लाइक ठीक है चलो आई विल ट्राई, कुछ होगा क्या होगा, आई हैव नो आइडिया. तो मैं गई और बाद में मैंने ये ऑडिशन दिया, और तभी मुझे प्रोफाइल्स बोलने भी नहीं आते थे. तो उन्होंने मुझे तभी सिखाया, मैंने ऐड का वो ऑडिशन दिया. बाद में मुझे सीरियल के लिए बोला दैट द सीरियल आई डिड वाज साथ निभाना साथिया. तो उन्होंने बोला कि एक ऑडिशन चल रहा है साथिया के लिए, तो हो सके तो आप वो दे के आओ. लाइक ठीक है आई विल ट्राई, बिकॉज आई नेवर थॉट ऑफ डूइंग दैट. तो मैं गई एंड दे हैंडेड मी लाइक अ प्रॉपर फुल स्केप पेपर. तो मैंने वो लर्न किया और मैंने दिया, और जैसे ही मैंने ऑडिशन दिया दे वर ऑल शॉक्ड. सॉरी मुझे बोलना नहीं चाहिए, बट दे वर ऑल शॉक्ड. आई वाज लाइक are you fine? Because मेरी आदत है, I never use glycerin. I cry naturally. I hate using glycerin.
Okay.
So they were like, Mazel, what happened? Are you okay? Like, it's fine, right? You're not something. I said, no, I was just acting. Like, what, you were acting? I said, yeah. So that's what happens.
What all do you do when you go for an audition? How do you
That's
prepare
every time.
yourself?
Do you even know how many kids have been auditioned for Maharana? 70. She was almost the 70 to 73 kid who was selected in the end.
So I wouldn't say कि पहले first episode में I was that perfect girl, you know, fluently उसने बोल दिया. In anything you cannot be perfect. There is no perfect in acting. You always have to learn. You always have to learn from anybody. You know, if that person is new or if that person is old.
Does it still happen that you guys go to, you know, auditions and you still have those jittery feelings in you? And what all do you do when you know, go for an audition? How do you prepare yourself?
For me, now I don't, because now I'm so confident giving the auditions. I must not
The butterfly
say,
feeling does come.
No, the first time when I gave audition at your place, I don't know whether you know it, but I actually started crying. I was literally crying. I gave 2 takes, and then I came back to Mama.
I came for the third take because I loved her face.
No, and I was crying. I was like, no, Mama, मुझसे नहीं होगा. I was almost removing my jewelry. And no, Mama, I am not doing it. And then there was this bhaiya who came to me and he like, don't worry,
My
हो
assistant,
जाएगा. Yeah. So then I gave the audition. Yeah. So that was अभी होता है अगर मैं like movies के auditions देने जाऊँ तो there is this because I don't think acting में कुछ भी artificial होना चाहिए, and I'm anti-artificial. वो होता ना, ये क्या हो गया, ये क्या हो गया, ऐसे I hate that acting somehow. It's like you go natural, you do whatever you want to do. And auditions में बस one thing that I focus on is the movements and the hand gestures, because that gives the body language that gives you a natural feel. Like my mother is so supportive. I don't know why I get so emotional while I say that.
Do you know how much of sacrifice she must have done to be away
Yes.
from
Yes.
daddy just to promote your future?
Very much. And for me, I would say to everyone, like all the child actors who work in this industry, it is actually on the parents. अगर parents का support नहीं होगा तो मुझे नहीं लगता कोई child actor इतना survive कर पाएगा.
Both of them are being pillars.
Family. I've been really blessed with Noor and Mom. It's very important. I wouldn't say it's only, you know, the family, but everybody around you. When I shifted from Allahabad, my family, like relatives and all, were very anti this. You know, अरे क्या sweetie तुम इलाहाबाद छोड़ के जा रही हो, कुछ नहीं होगा वहाँ पे, you're gonna struggle and come back to Allahabad. And I used to feel really sad. You know, Mom had her very beautiful academy. She had to leave that. I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on, babes. Yeah. But you are happy today where you are.
In Casting with Janet.
So there's this thing called demotivation. There were so many people.
Okay. Okay, no issues.
So many people telling my mom that, you know, nahi hone wala, it's impossible for you to, you know, just go out there and try it with your kids. I went, you know, for auditions and they were like, it's just not working out. You know, I shipped it to Bombay with tons of dreams. I feel so bad. There are parents, when I used to go for auditions, I used to see there are parents scolding their kids to do the audition, which used to make me so sad. You know, आप ज़बरदस्ती किसी से काम कराते हो. You don't know if that's, you know, it's just the child's thing if he wants to do or he doesn't want to do. I used to see that, I used to feel so sad, and I knew my mom will never force me for anything, no matter how many issues we had in our life. My grandparents, they've been more supportive than mom.
Okay.
It's so good, but you know, they're just people saying. So it's very hard, you know, when I used to go for auditions, there are casting directors who don't wait. They don't give you time. They pressurize, "Arey, nahi ho raha, kya kare," and all that stuff. So that never happened with me a lot. But it happens with so many kids. I've seen kids walking out crying when, you know, it's very important for a casting director to understand, you know,
patience.
and you know, give them time to, you know, show their emotions. Acting is not easy. Actually, the real inspiration, I never say this on camera, Faisal has been my very good friend. I've seen his struggles, and you know, everybody, you know, a lot of child actors, I would say, not a lot of people have names. For me, it was really hard, because I know if my mom wasn't there for me, my sister wasn't there, I wouldn't have done this. There's so many people supporting me. I feel so blessed. Look at her, she's so good, so sweet. And all the kids, you know, who really want to go to acting, go meet her, because it's really important to have that support in your life. It can be anyone, because in this industry so many things happen when, you know, people in Maharana Pratap used to tell me that she's not worth this, and you know, she just gives too many takes. It's not easy to, you know, just go on the set.
She's a kid, and the lines given to her was those long pages. And when I used to get emails back saying, Janet, what sort of actor you've cast? But then this girl took the show to another level.
And
where was it happening? She even was awarded, nominated. So enjoy the time you have.
Enjoy that time, and you should always have plan B. I think so. Agar future में, I hope कि acting काम करे मेरे लिए. That's my, you know, entire passion, everything that means the most to me. But if it doesn't work, I have to have something else. I always want to be a director, because I see directors inspiring actors in so many ways. I've become an actor because of my directors, and I'm saying that on screen because that's important. Agar your casting director or any director is shouting at you, but it's in a sweet way. There's a thing called comparing. In this industry, this happens a lot. In any, you know, directors में होता है, actors में होता है, सब में होता है. So they used to compare me with so many child actors, which used to make me feel sad, because they have so many things in their own line, you know. Like Janet, she did a show called Fulwa after that. So they knew, अरे Fulwa है, Fulwa अच्छा कर रही है, रोशनी को क्यों लिया? So I guess it's very important for the people who are in this industry to understand that we should not compare people with people. It affects people in a lot of ways. Comparing is very bad.
What about Mazel? What about you?
For me, it was not so hard, but yeah, for me, मेरे लिए मेरे parents का support was something I've never had before. So, okay, so my friends,
Okay.
In casting with Janet.
like my family and my friends have been very supportive. जब मैं गुजरात में थी, as I said before, मैंने कभी plan नहीं किया था एक actor बनने के लिए. तो जैसे ही मैं बॉम्बे आई, I started acting. I was very, very close to my father. For me, my father was everything. उनसे एक second दूर रहना was like fearful for me कि क्या हो गया, कैसे kind. And now 5 साल से मैं उनसे दूर हूँ. He stays in Gujarat and I stay here. For me, it's very hard, and yes, for Mama also, because like staying without a husband, and my father has been very supportive for me and my mother both, because मैं जैसे ही बॉम्बे आई, I had no support. It was just my like my mother. बॉम्बे में भी कोई ऐसा था नहीं जो मेरे साथ रह सके, and I had no friends. And
better to cast kids who can listen to their parents, so that on the set, when there's something which is wrong or right, we tell the parents and it has been heard. Or if you have a kid who says, I don't want to listen to you, then and he doesn't listen for that very reason, we will be having, the whole set will be in chaos, because nobody will be, he'll be under nobody's control if he's not under the parents' control.
Is there anything else that you feel that the audience needs to know about your journey that's gonna be very beneficial and useful for
Some
them in
tips
the near
you all
future?
can give?
There are many parents forcing their children. I have seen in the auditions and in the show I did. I don't want to name the kids, but the parents literally hit them and they scold them. They literally, in the crying scenes, if the director wants the crying scene, the mother comes on the sets, they hit the child just for them to bring tears in their eyes, and then they shoot. So I feel that's not the thing to work. That's not how you work.
Respect is really important, and if you kids become an actor and if you get good amount of followers on Instagram, don't depend on that. Don't, because acting and social media is kind of the same when it comes to being today and not being tomorrow. So that's very important. Kids who start earning from Instagram, they forget that they have more things to do in future. Today you get this good, I get collaborations, I like that, but at the same time I want to continue with my career.
Just a tip to you and to all the kids out there, don't be pulled down. Always remember, if you have 10 good points coming to you and 10 negative points coming to you, you're famous. So
people talking about you, that means you're doing good.
You're doing good. So you have to take it that way. Keep this as a ladder to your success in life.
Well, thank you so much, guys. It was great talking to both of you. We hope that the audience will learn something nice and useful from what you all share. It was great having you. Thank you, Roshni. Thank you, Mazel.
Thank you.
Good luck for your future and your journey. Thank you. Stay tuned with us and don't forget to watch Casting with Janet.
Coming up in Casting with Janet.
My dad is not from the industry, but whenever I've read books, whenever I've understood, I've tried to take points from, like what Mr. Bachchan must have told Abhishek when he was becoming an actor. So what so-and-so director said about that actor, what is good. So there are few things about Mr. Bachchan which I really like. I came back on an award show for TV and nobody recognized me. I was zapped.
You do your best and try to be good to people.
Why not you just finally give us do's and don'ts while you are going for an audition or something of that sort?
In Casting with Janet.
For more such insights, trivia and tips, don't forget to subscribe to TellyChakkar's YouTube channel.